As some of you may have seen this video, by All-Terrain Action EV, Chris has brought a BYD Shark 6 to Lerderderg 4-wheel drive training center. In this video, you can clearly see the Shark is having difficulty climbing up this hill, which is why I'm here today with its direct competitor, the Cannon Alpha PHEV, to show the BYD why the Cannon is the Alpha. So as we see here, this is the attempt. To be fair, this was not the first one, but it definitely was the smoothest one after I knew the line. And just a reminder, this is on highway terrain tires. The BYD Shark in the video is running all terrains. This here is the same run from the outside, where you can clearly see the wheel articulation and what happens even when the articulation runs out and a wheel is lifted in the air. You can see the transfer case, diff locks, the mechanical 4x4 just working beautifully up the hill. On the other hand, when we look at the Shark again, you can see anytime a wheel is lifted in the air, the traction control just couldn't cope with it. And ultimately, this is the difference between the Shark and the Cannon Alpha PHEV. Which means realistically, the BYD Shark is more an all-wheel drive rather than a true four-wheel drive. With this run, I purposely stopped just before the wheel lifted for the best demonstration on the difference between the Shark and the Cannon Alpha, a true 4x4 versus a simulated 4x4. As the front wheels lift, the traction control is just working beautifully along with the front and rear diff locks, and it just almost makes it too easy. Keep in mind, it was not a one-time fluke as well. I drove up this hill successfully 6 times, going through a puddle every time just before the climb. The mud and the dirt has really gunked up the highway terrain tires, making every climb slippery than the one before. This run here was probably the best example to show the difference. Just watch how controlled the Alpha is with its constant wheel speed, and at no point were any of the wheels spinning wildly. Even when the back wheel slipped off the line, with a little bit more controlled acceleration, it was able to get over that last little bit. Any experienced four-wheel driver will tell you this is what you want. With wheels spinning wildly, etc., that is when you start to break things. Now, to the Shark's credit, it did eventually made it up the hill. But listen to what Chris had to say.
I shouldn't need that much. I'm disappointed in that.
Now, for the record, I was on the other hand very happy with how the Cannon Alpha High 4T has performed at Lerderderg today. Coming up now are some bonus footage on the next bit. Once again, check out how controlled and how easy the Cannon Alpha PHEV makes the climbs. Wheel lift? No problem. And here is a second try from a different angle. Totally repeatable, super easy once again. And this time there was a massive wheel lift, but still no problems. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and a share.